Da, 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 da. Welcome to the Monday morning Silverhairstacker show and friends. So, I do have a special guest, Jake, but he's not the
I'm not
he's not the extra special
right.
guest.
I'm
He's
not
just
the extra special.
he's just a he's like Ed McMahon this morning. You don't even know who Ed McMahon is, do you, Jake? You're so young.
I don't. No clue.
Have you ever heard of the Johnny Carson show?
Yes.
Ed McMahon was the co-host that always he played second banana, whatever you call it,
Okay.
welcoming guests to the show. And anytime Johnny Carson's jokes weren't all that funny, Ed would laugh anyway. So
Uh he was the fill-in.
yeah.
Yeah.
So good morning, everybody. I'm going to put an invite in the chat because I do have a special guest that is going to be here hopefully momentarily.
Hopefully.
He did say that he's had to deal with some grandchildren this morning, so he might he might be late.
Gotcha. I'm just here shipping.
Yeah.
Scott must be
Can't
on his way to
I can't believe anybody's so young they don't know who Ed McMahon is.
Oh, I'm
That
not.
guy, after the Johnny Carson show ended, Ed kept making commercials for all kinds of. I mean, he did timeshares, he did coffee machines, he did. Oh gosh, you'd always see him. Hi, Phil. Phil's from England too.
Ah.
Man, we got all the English. Ed's real name was Ahmed. Yeah,
Ahmed.
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 Ed McMahon was famous for switching wives often. He
12 wives, 24K says.
You're,
Ed McMahon was like
you're
70
playing my
years
favorite game
old.
this. You're playing my favorite game this morning. Let's ask the Amish kid question and see if he knows it.
Ed
Uh,
Mc, Ed McMahon was like he had a child at age 70. I
So
mean,
here's so here you go, Jake. In the '80s, I know you weren't born in the '80s, but a lot of people have seen reruns of '80s. There's nothing cooler. Nobody will ever be as cool as Sonny and Crockett in the Ferrari riding down with limited time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
nope.
I don't know. I don't. And this,
Okay, I
I
was
don't.
born in the 80s, but yeah, you can
Uh,
probably I have a 50-50 shot of knowing what it might be.
I
that's,
don't. I don't
that's
sell enough trading cards to know if they're media mail or not.
that's Miami Vice.
I'm
Oh,
sure
okay.
you can use the eBay whatever envelope on them though.
Trading cards are not media.
Oh yeah, Ed McMahon did Publisher Clearinghouse where you'd win. They'd bring balloons to your front door and bring you a check for $1 million or something.
Yeah, the good game is to ask him about songs and all that kind of stuff. No, because when you don't grow up with TV and all that kind of stuff, his I think his knowledge starts with about 90 2000. I mean, anything before 2000 is a crapshoot. Which is the I've told him before. I'm like, it's the craziest thing that if I have a question about a computer or any kind of that kind of stuff, I'm like, you know what? Let's call up the Amish dude.
Call up the Amish dude. He was fussing at you before the show started that you still haven't done VQuo.
Yeah,
Oh,
you need to get on the ship.
I've done Vico.
A little. Vico is like the best thing ever in my book. And it will be the reason I don't need inventory lab after I get my accountant everything set up the way she wants it. So
Donna, you talk about somebody who can list 50 items a day, every day. There she is. How many you got shipping out this morning, Donna? Let me guess. 68. I bet Donna has 68
So
items shipping out.
here we go. A service that restricts media rates. Books, at least 8 pages. Sound recordings and video recordings, such as CDs, DVDs. Play scripts and manuals for books. Printed music. Computer readable media. 16 millimeter or narrower films. Printed object test materials and printed educational reference charts and loose leaf pages and their binders. Um, the first clue, Anissa, is a trading card is not media. Just because you can read it doesn't make it media. That is a collectible.
Mhm. I see media mail option on so many of the items I sell that I'm like, how could that even come up in this category? You know, you ship a pair of shoes or something. Would you like to send this media mail? No thanks.
And then Amazon is the opposite. You can't get them to give you the option for media mail. But there's so many things that I have to send pirate ship that are media mail qualified because they promise some crazy date for media. I'm like, you know what? They'll get it when I get it.
Swamp picker. So, the topic of the show when he gets here, a friend in the UK who ordered a product from eBay and it was not shipped to him. It was shipped to somebody across the other side of Great Britain from him. And I'll let him tell the whole story about it, but he had to jump through so many hoops. And I never got to hear the final answer on how it was resolved. But he did a video on it. And I'll post his video in the side chat over here. He comes on the morning show often, once in a while to talk. So here's his video, the Cyber Curtain Twitcher.
So Donna says she only has 58.
I was 10 off.
That's a shame. So Felix said he's got a kidney stone, had to have a client drive him to the hospital. What's the purpose of having like 7 wives, Felix, if one of them can't drive you? Oh, wait a minute. Y'all don't let women drive. That's a bad plan. I mean, I get it. I don't. Women drivers, I get it. But
24K's had kidney stones for about 2 months now.
we had a tractor trailer rollover wreck right outside my exit here, just half a mile from here, and luckily she made it.
It's a pretty slow weekend for John. Yeah, my sales slowed way down.
Yeah, Sunday was awful. Yesterday, I saw a bunch of little stuff. How many do I have? I have 36 on eBay going out. How many I got on Amazon?
I sold more on Friday than I did all of Saturday and Sunday. Friday was good. Thursday was good, but Saturday and Sunday just zero crickets. Well, not zero.
I have 10 on Amazon.
I think I got 7 going out. Yay.
Are any of them hard? That was not bad. Easy.
Sold a bunch of these over the weekend.
Easy.
Texas mugs.
Yep.
What do those sell for?
About 34.
What? Show me that again. That is $34? Oh, it's a Starbucks.
Yep.
Okay. Starbucks mug collectors are nuts.
Starbucks people are nuts. Oh, let
Have you
me
seen her run the
uh,
drive? There you go. A quintuple shot.
That's right.
It took the women 1,000 years to learn to get on a camel. Mm.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Friday, 450. Saturday was 550. Sunday was 112.
What are we looking at?
Damn it.
Jakester.
That's the sticker on my mug or my order, my Starbucks order. Is it backwards?
No?
Did that really say 8 shots?
It really does.
Johnny Raid. Hi, Scarlett.
Why do you think it's that dark?
I don't know.
Coffee. Well, now there he is.
Hey!
Good morning.
So, did your ship dick?
Yep.
Finally.
We finally
put-
got off that ship about 1:30 yesterday afternoon, and we were supposed to get off 7:30 yesterday morning.
Tom sent a message on Facebook to our little Facebook group chat. It says, our ship is dicking at 3 hours late. And
Mm-hmm.
so he got lots of comments on the ship dicking.
That's what happens when you go on a porn cruise. Sometimes
Oh.
you're the dick, sometimes you're the dicky.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you wear banana hammocks by the pool out by the piano bar on board.
Tom,
For
I
those
talked about you several times, Tom.
Well, I'm sure you did. I just remember to hit that. If it wasn't in a positive light, hit that.
I
That
I was like, I wonder if Tom would believe I was Santa Claus riding in a sleigh. Yeah.
there.
I'm Dasher.
Santa
I'm
Claus hat,
Dancer.
then you
Look
would.
at you.
Where's your Santa Claus hat, Scott?
And then I thought to myself, I'll just sit around and enjoy the warm fireplace. I wonder if Tom will believe me. He'll think I'm in the Tennessee mountain somewhere.
Jacksonville, St. Pete has a bridge called the Skyview Bridge or something like that. It's a beautiful bridge. When we were coming into port yesterday morning, the wind was gusting. The waves were like at 10 feet. So the port authority wouldn't let our ship and a bunch of other ships pass under the bridge because I think 40 years ago, a barge hit it and knocked it down and killed 48 people, that kind of thing. So it was delayed getting in. And so we finally got off the ship about 1:30, and we got home at midnight last night.
You can't blame them though. I mean, look at the infrastructure. If you have to rebuild a bridge, I mean, it's a vital artery to a local community.
One of the locals that was on the cruise said that it will take an hour and a half to go from one end of the bridge to the other end of the bridge by going around the harbor and the bay and all that kind of stuff. But did you see my picture I posted for you? About the two Alabama fans?
Yeah.
I walked in and they were sitting at the table and I said, "Oh my God, they're everywhere." And the guy kind of looked at me funny. He said, "What?" And I said, "Alabama fans." I said, "I have a really good friend who is an Alabama fan." You know, the last words out of his mouth is Crimson.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thank you. I haven't been up long, and he's like, "Well, that's the way we are." And I said, "Oh, yeah, you are." And the lady who was sitting there, she said, and his sister went to Auburn. She got a full ride to Auburn. So I said, "Well, that's a big war, isn't it?" Anyway, we had a good time. Won $1,000 in bingo. About 1,400 on a slot machine.
I went all the way to Panama to play bingo.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you,
Is that Columbia, South Carolina?
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Lag.
the Panama.
Buffalo Bills pounded the Cowboys yesterday. They didn't just beat them; they embarrassed the Cowboys. It was bad.
I know. I started
This
texting
one's
my buddy.
This is the real Columbia, if you see how it's spelled. CLO. COLO. There we go. There's that Zygon guy. That's the only one that
right,
has
Mr.
these
Brady.
except for me.
What are you doing in the office this morning? You're supposed to be out evicting tenants.
It's not the first of the month.
Shop
My work is done.
Airlines.
You know,
That's one
at
of the biggest
Halloween,
drop
you need to get
shippers.
you a big black hat, a top hat and a cape, and make your mustache a little bit darker. On the cartoons, there was always, I don't know what his name was, but he was always the villain, and he was always collecting rent.
Ah,
Don't ask him because he don't have a clue.
Yeah, they didn't have real They didn't have real cartoons when I was a kid. No, that was American dollars. Nobody uses pesos.
Yeah, Josh, Shop Airlines. I've had several orders from them. They're a big drop shipper.
Jacob spent his childhood plowing fields and raising puppy mills.
I thought somebody was asking if this one was pesos. No, it was whatever that is in Colombian dollars.
Are you still selling the ones you brought back with you?
No.
Or is she shipping them for you?
She went back to see her parents, and so she brought some more back for me.
So whatever happened, I never even heard the end of that story when she got kicked out of the U.S. Is she back in the U.S. now?
Yeah, she came back about 6 months ago. She had to take 18 months before she could come back.
And
visa violation.
So is she going to get? Isn't she married to a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Tamara, you a Raiders fan?
It was a matter that they didn't. The problem was they didn't file the proper paperwork before she left the country, by their own fault. And so whatever the marriage visa was, if they would have filed that before she left, she would have been fine. But they didn't. And so
Okay. It's time to get serious, folks. We have a special guest.
Oh, God.
All the way from halfway across the world in the United Kingdom. Hey, CCT, Cyber Curtain, Twitcher.
Hello, everybody. Or should I say howdy?
Howdy.
Another one of them risk guys. What the hell?
So, if y'all don't know Cyber, he put out this video. I'm going to put a link to his video in the chat. Y'all need to go watch it. It's kind of PG-13 rated, but
It's not PG.
because at the end, he anyway, I'll let him tell the story. So, eBay ripped you off, right?
Well, it wasn't so much they ripped me off. It was just the unbelievable aggravation and the hoop jumping. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. So basically,
Yeah.
yeah. You ready for me to tell the story?
Go ahead. Don't let me interrupt. Sorry.
So basically, I ordered some boxes like this, not this particular one, but 40 boxes, $20 on eBay. And I kept tracking it. It said, your item should be delivered within 5 days. And I kept looking at the tracking. The tracking never changed. It just said dispatched. And on the last day that I should have received it by, I checked the tracking again. It still didn't say anything. It still said dispatched. So that evening, about 7, 8 o'clock, I opened up a case, item not received. And if you're wondering what was going to go in the boxes, it's my silver testing slides right there. Opened up a case, item not received, and the following day I checked to see if the seller had responded, and the seller never responded. But I noticed that the tracking had changed and it said delivered. And I thought, well, no, it wasn't delivered. So I obviously looked on the tracking. It said it was delivered at 9:20 p.m. So I checked my security cameras. I mean, my wife and I were both in. There was no delivery. I checked outside to see if it had left. Then I checked my security cameras for about 20 minutes around that time, 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So I informed the seller in the case, that there was no parcel delivered, and I've checked my security camera footage. Nobody came, and it's not been left. So anyway, then I haven't got my boxes, which I needed. And then the seller never responded at all. So obviously then you have to wait, is it 4 or 5 days for eBay to review the case? You'll know. But anyway, so got to wait. So in the meantime, I thought, right, I need the boxes. I ordered them from a different seller. Boom, they were delivered the following day. No issue whatsoever. So anyway, when it got to the point where eBay escalates the case, the day of that, I thought, right, I'll escalate it for them to resolve. But before I had chance, the seller escalated it, and eBay closed the case in the favour of the seller because the tracking number showed it delivered. So obviously I hadn't got my boxes, and the eBay had refused to refund me. So I then appealed the decision. Something I've never ever done. I didn't even know you could do it, but it's there. You can appeal the decision. Because obviously I'm now $20 out of pocket. And so I initiated the appeal, and it said you've got 30 days to submit evidence that you didn't receive your item. So I got hold of the couriers, who are a company called Every. And
I don't recall any buyer ever having to prove that the item I sent didn't arrive. And I was wondering if that's just a UK thing or.
No. This is exactly what happens. I don't know what you're talking about. If you have as a seller, if you have a delivery scan, you win the case almost damn near 100%.
Well, yeah, the seller does, but what happens to the buyer then?
Most times they're out of luck and they leave the platform.
Well, anyway, go ahead, CC.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the first email that I got, which I think is like a stock email that they send out to anybody that hasn't received their package, and it's just basically to give them time to deliver it. It just says, that the tracking, what does it say? Information has been updated incorrectly by the courier, and you should receive it within 48 hours. Now, obviously, I never received it. I never received the package, and I never received any updated tracking. So then I emailed them back again, and obviously they've replied saying that apologising, blah blah blah. Now I forwarded this email onto the appeal, which clearly says the driver's GPS was non-compliant, meaning that he was unable to deliver to my address. So, and obviously the emails were signed. That becomes relevant in a minute. So I sent this to the eBay appeals, and they said the way you forwarded the emails to us was not sufficient evidence. You need to use a snipping tool to forward the emails. So I go back and use the snipping tool, work out how to use it first, and then forward them this email and I think the following email, which again, eBay was still saying, it's not acceptable. These emails are not acceptable. You're entitled to know where your package is. So I emailed the couriers again. They replied with this one saying, it wasn't delivered to you, and this is who it was delivered to, their name, their address. So I snipped this one, forwarded it to the appeal, and then the following morning I get up, open my emails. It says the appeal has been closed in favour of the seller. You will not be receiving a refund. And you just think, what does a man have to do? Honestly. And so then I emailed the couriers and said, is there anything you can do here? And they said, unfortunately, we don't have an agreement with eBay, and your dispute is with the seller. Your seller should issue you a replacement or refund. So I copied this and messaged the seller on eBay and forwarded this email on to him, telling him that, my parcel is deemed lost, clearly says it. Oh, that was the other thing. The last thing in that appeal, they said to me in the eBay's appeal, was that your emails aren't signed. They need to be signed. Well, what's that if it's not a signature? And I was just getting so irate with them. It was unbelievable. So anyway, I think a day or two passed, and I got a reply from the seller, and all it said was, "Would you like a replacement or a refund?" No apologies, nothing. Just said, "Would you like a replacement or refund?" So I just replied and said refund, and a couple of days later I got it. Anyway, this whole flipping saga backwards and forwards with eBay appeals really, really wound me up. So
But that's really not the seller's responsibility. The refund should have come from the courier. Right?
It should, yeah, but the courier has to refund the seller. So the seller has to refund me, and then the courier has to refund the seller.
Okay, yeah.
So I basically wrote this very long complaint to the CEO of eBay. I won't read the whole thing. It was quite long, but it covered all the issues there and what exactly happened. And then some while later, it was very long. It's actually 2 pages, well, a page and a half. Anyway, some while later, I got a reply on behalf of the CEO.
You got a letter from the CEO.
Yeah.
Cool.
On behalf of the CEO.
Yeah, on behalf of. They were writing on behalf of the CEO. It was Jamie Iannone or something. Iannone? I don't know.
Iannone?
Yeah. And, basically apologising and saying they're going to obviously look into it as to how this even happened, with all the people that were just totally ignoring me, totally ignoring the emails. One telling me I've sent it in the wrong format, another one telling me it needs to be signed. I mean, that letter I wrote to them, I said to them, what did they want it signed in blood? It was just ridiculous. Yes, and obviously they've sent me a voucher which I have not used yet. I haven't used eBay since, to be honest. Your
next video is going to be, damn, I have no sales.
Yeah, folks, I thought it would be great to hear this story because we don't need eBay having policy that runs people away from the site that we sell on. The this is pretty much the only site I sell on. I do a few Facebook Marketplace, but eBay's my thing. If eBay's going to run off buyers who have legitimate cases, it just pisses me off.
Well, the problem is when we're doing shipping as sellers and doing shipping and using their platform, we're technically using their agreement with the shipper, not our own agreements with shipper. So the seller's in a bad place because the seller has no avenue to go open a case or anything because they'll tell you, it's invalid. You can't open this case. You must go through eBay. And then when you go through eBay and provide them proof, GPS location shows it was not delivered to the address it was supposed to, and they don't accept that as proof. I mean, the problem lies with the shipper and eBay and their relationship, not the seller or the buyer. It's the middleman that's screwed up as usual.
Yeah, well, but the thing that niggled me really was literally right off the bat from the very beginning. I informed the seller that I hadn't received it, and I'd got security camera footage showing that I hadn't received it. And all he had to do was contact the courier, and they'd have sent him the same email they sent me saying the driver was non-compliant.
But remember, as a seller, they're just as screwed as you are because they have no control over the situation either because they haven't trusted eBay's courier to take it to you, and then should they be responsible for because the product that was misdelivered? That's not their mistake.
No, it's not their mistake. But
they could be a little more friendly. They could be a little more friendly. I get that.
Yeah, he never ever replied to any of the chat that was going on in the missing item case or in the appeal. He never ever even said anything at all.
Well, the problem is that email was probably read by somebody over in the Philippines or Thailand, and as they're busy trying to send their kids out to entertain Americans that are coming over there, they are struggling to read the email.
Yeah. Like I say, had the seller contacted this courier, they'd have replied to him and said, "Sorry, the driver was non-compliant. Put a claim in for a missing package, and we'll sort it for you." And
I think that's part of it. I think if the seller would have contacted eBay and said, "Listen, look, there looks to be a problem with this," it would have helped the buyer out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, if I get a not as described or a not delivered, I'm on top of that right then. I don't wait for the buyer is already has made a comment by filing a claim. I don't understand these people that don't do anything, because if somebody says it was not delivered, even though they say it was delivered, I'm sending some emails or something like that. If it's not worth a lot of money, I'll just send them the damn money.
Yeah, exactly, Tom. Exactly, Tom. That's exactly what I would do as a seller as well. If you've got a problem, you address it and sort it out. You don't just ignore the buyer.
I mean, if I sold this kind of stuff that Todd sells, I would be on a plane to the damn neighborhood knocking on the door saying, "Where's my gold bar at? Who's got it?"
So, tell me, how much time do you figure you spent doing all this?
I must have spent 8 hours, I reckon, prattling around. Because those copies that I just showed you on there, I printed them off to send in with the complaint to the CEO.
Right.
So you've got and all this bloody the letter writing and contacting the couriers and then messaging and in the eBay appeals, I was copying their text and sending it to the courier, because telling the couriers what eBay wanted. eBay wanted to know where my parcel was. So I copied and pasted that in a document and then sent that to the courier. It was an unbelievable amount of time for a $20 item, that there's clearly I didn't ever get.
Well, thanks for following up on it at least. Most buyers would just quit eBay
Yeah.
and give the seller a negative feedback, you know. So
Yeah, I'm not saying that
did you
I've
give the
quit.
seller a negative feedback over it?
Well, I did, but eBay removed it
Oh my
because
God.
they closed the appeal in his favour,
Yeah,
so
they
they
showed it
removed it.
delivered. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
used to that process.
which is understandable. You know, I put in the feedback that I didn't receive this item. I've got security camera footage to prove it was not delivered. I was honest with my feedback, and you failed to respond to me at all. You didn't respond to me at all. Yeah, exactly, Lag. It's funny you should say that, Lag, but I've been using Temu since, and my wife ordered, but I don't use Temu myself. I just send the link to my wife, and she orders it. And she ordered this little Christmas sleigh, and with some other stuff. Anyway, it arrived broken. It wasn't even in a box. It was just in a grey plastic bag. No wonder it got broken. Anyway, she literally got on the chat on Temu, and they asked her what item it was, and literally she hadn't even finished chatting with them, and she's got a refund for it. It was something like $7. It wasn't any great amount, but they don't. She said, "Do you want me to send photos?" No, we'll refund you. Done, sorted. There's your refund. Very straightforward.
Timu's taking over the world 99 cents at a time.
Yeah.
They are the Dollar General of. You don't have Dollar General over there in the UK, but it's
No, we have Poundland.
yeah. The Dollar General is like they're putting up stores everywhere. There was a meme about Dollar General putting a store on top of Devil's Tower. You know that Close Encounters of the Third Kind movie, that tower thing. So
Yeah.
Did you see the one about putting one on the moon? There's one on the moon.
there's one
Yeah,
on the moon.
I shared one where it's sitting on the top of the offshore lighthouse that's off the coast of North Carolina. It'll probably be what is the name of the principality that sits off the coast of the UK that it used to be a tower during World War II. Anyway, it's just nothing but a tower, a platform, and I'm expecting somebody to put one there. That'll be their first commercial enterprise over there.
So the one thing I'll tell you, Twitcher, is every platform has this policy for sellers. Amazon does too. If you use their shipping and upload it through their system, and it shows delivered, they're going to find in the seller's favor every single time.
Right.
The thing is, a seller I try to do is I try to explain to them that, hey, please contact your local whoever delivered it. It has GPS tracking. Most people don't know that the last scan has GPS tracking. They can tell you where they left it, and see if they can locate that for you.
Yeah,
because that's really their only hope. Is they got to get that information.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. I sent out sold two silver coins, which was like $130 worth. These two silver coins, and I sent them by what's called Royal Mail special delivery. So it's guaranteed next day, and it's insured up to whatever five. I think it's more than £500, but it's insured and guaranteed the next day. So I mailed these coins out, and the guy should have got them the next day. So he didn't get them the next day. So I said to him, look, the tracking is shown delivered and with a signature, because you have to sign for it. And he said, yeah, I know, but that's not my signature. And anyway, he went to his local post office and said, look, this wasn't delivered to me. and it's a present for my wife's birthday.
Hi, Roman.
Anyway, I wasn't aware of this, but the scan tool that Royal Mail use to scan your item when they deliver it has got GPS in it.
Yeah, but
So
most services have that. Yep.
Yeah, so they actually tracked where his package had been delivered to. And I mean, it took them over a week, I think, but they actually managed to get it back for him and re-deliver it. But it was like a street or two away. They told him, you know, what street it was in, where it had been delivered. Yeah, no, I've been on eBay for 12 years as a buyer and a seller, and I've never ever come across an issue like this where you're like bashing your head against the wall. You're showing the proof. No, I haven't got this item. This is the proof, and they just totally blank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a lot of difference from eBay and Amazon. At some point, Amazon just gives up and gives you your money back. But a lot of times, Amazon forces it and will take it from the buyer, from the seller, which is, I mean,
Yes,
it's a delicate balance. I mean, who is wrong? I mean, are you protecting the buyer, the seller? Who's the scammer? Who's not? You know, the middleman. You provide enough proof. I see you,
Josh.
but for the most part, they're living in a he said she said world, and how do they know who to believe and who not? I mean,
yeah, no,
God
like,
forbid that this seller has been on the platform for 20 years. God forbid you believe somebody who's been there that long. You got it. That's the thing that infuriates me is that you have a zero buyer and a seller like me who has been on the platform since 2000, and they go, well, they'll take the word of the zero buyer over the seller who has jumped through hoops for 20 years on their platform.
yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, I understand that.
Well, there's too many platforms out there for people to buy from, and too many of them are selling the same stuff.
Yes, Tom. I mean, there's several companies that I used on eBay. For example, one that sells coin capsules, obviously on one of the Silverhairstacker community, and I found the same seller on Amazon. So I've just been buying them from Amazon now. Same price, makes no odds to me where I get them from. But
Yeah, that's why when I buy on Amazon, I buy from Amazon. I try not to buy third party just because you don't deal with these kind of solutions. Amazon just refunds so quickly that it's much easier to deal with.
yeah,
The first case that we had of Amazon saying that we had an item delivered and was not delivered was for $100. Roberta had ordered some like $3 worth of crap, free delivery, you know. She ended up getting a $100 ladies facial hair removal system. She called them up and said, we didn't get the item we got. She ordered. She got this instead. You want to give me a label and I'll send it back? And they're like, oh no, that's our mistake. You know, you don't worry about it. The next day she got her stuff. Back when they started, I mean, before we had all the Prime trucks in Charlotte, they were using third-party delivery services, and we would get notification that something was delivered, and it wasn't delivered. And I checked with the neighbors and all this kind of stuff. So Roberta would call and talk to Amazon, and they would say, "Okay, well, we'll send you out another one tomorrow." Well, in 2 days, both of them show up at the same time, because even though the third party courier said they had delivered it, they had not delivered it. It was still on their truck.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's always, we've never had a problem with eBay saying, you know, as a buyer, with them saying, no, you did get it, that type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, we've had that where it's showing delivered on one day, and then the courier actually drops it off the next morning. And they said to us that's what they do, because otherwise they get penalised if they don't deliver on time. So they scan it as delivered, the night before and then deliver it the following morning. That's not a great issue. I don't have a problem with them doing that as long as they do actually deliver the bloody thing.
Well, we're kind of spoiled here because if Roberta orders before 9 o'clock in the morning, it's probably going to be here before 9 o'clock that night because we have so many distribution centers here in Charlotte.
Yeah, that's handy. That, yeah. Right, I ordered, well, my wife ordered for me on Amazon. I think it was six cans of clear lacquer, right, aerosols of clear lacquer. And when the box turned up and she opened it, it was 6 bottles of this. So she messaged them and said, look, you know, you've delivered 6 bottles of diesel injector cleaner instead of aerosols of clear lacquer. So I think it was one of them ones where it wasn't coming direct from Amazon. It came from the seller. So obviously they got in touch with the seller, and my wife said, you know, give us a return shipping label and we'll send it back. And they just said, no, keep it, and we'll send out the lacquer. So I got 6 bottles of injector cleaner, and I think they're like $10 a bottle, which was way more than the lacquer. And luckily, we do have 2 diesel vehicles.
Oh, he's rich. Damn.
Yeah.
Diesel fuel over here is like $6.50 a gallon.
Yeah, it's not cheap here either. Yeah.
That'd be what, about $9 pounds or $9?
$6. No, it's probably £5.
Oh yeah, £5. It goes the other direction.
Yeah. But I got another blooming courier story as well, which happened. I think it might have been 2020. We use a company called Muscle Foods, which is all healthy meats, and it's delivered fresh the next day. And we ordered this package, which was like $150 worth of meat. It's all lean and healthy, you know, like chicken and low fat pork or whatever steaks. Anyway, we ordered this package about $150, and obviously the particular courier that delivers that, my wife gets notification on their phone where they are. You know, they're obviously tracked. You know, the driver is 3 stops away, blah blah blah. She was out and I was home, and she sent me a WhatsApp. She said, the driver's 1 stop away. I said, that's fine, I'm indoors. Anyway, nobody came, and next message she got, she said, have you unpacked it? I said, unpacked what? No delivery. And so she got straight on to the couriers, and they said, it's been delivered. It was scanned delivered, and what the courier had done, as I later found out after checking our security cameras, he literally drove up the road slowly outside our house, scanned the box whilst in his van, and then drove off with it and stole the food. You couldn't make it up. I mean, you know, surely, you know, if someone's querying that, the courier company should have got hold of the police and said, this driver we think has stolen a package, pull him over, here's his license plate number, he's where he is, you know, tell him where he is, see if he's got this package on the van. And then had they done that, they'd have caught him red-handed. But of course they didn't. But luckily, the company that we bought it from, they literally immediately sent out another package the following day. No questions asked.
They are worried about their reputation.
Yeah. But bearing in mind, that wasn't a $20 item. It was like $150. and they still sent it out. So whether they were just going to argue with the courier, they didn't even ask us anything. We just said we didn't receive it. We didn't receive it. It wasn't delivered to us. Yeah, but what a crafty move. You think how cunning these people are to have the box on the passenger seat, drive past the house you're supposed to deliver it to, scan it as you're driving past, and then you've got a $350 worth of meat to take home.
Not good.
No.
Well, if you're waiting on something, it could be on the truck, the ship. Would you please get down? The ship's sitting off the coast of the Panama Canal. There was like 3 shipping ships that had like containers stacked 5 high on it, and just sitting there waiting to go through the Panama Canal. They said on the California side or the Pacific side, it's far worse because everything's coming from the Pacific Basin towards America. Because we can't make anything over here.
It's shocking. We don't either, Tom. It is really, really bothers me that you are not producing anything. We're not producing. I've got tools made in the USA. I've got tools made in England, German tools. But literally, try and find anything now that isn't made in China. It's just virtually impossible.
And since most of it's automated, it makes you wonder. Like we talked about Dollar Tree a while ago, not Dollar Tree, Dollar General. If you have a piece of land and you're willing to work a deal with Dollar General, they will put a building on your land. And the more you throw into the pot, as far as more like the construction cost, the better the deal is for them. That's the reason you'll see them out. You'll see them sitting out in the middle of a cornfield, out in the middle of damn nowhere, Idaho, because the farmer's wife said, "I'm tired of having to drive 20 miles to a store." As that movie says, build it and they will come. But it's amazing that some of this stuff is so automated. Once the raw material is put in the machine, they never touch it again until it gets to that end of the machine, and that's if there's not some kind of boxing machine down there. And it makes you wonder how much these companies are paying for stuff when you figure in the shipping from China or Mexico.
Yeah. Well, I just ordered a filter for one of my shop vacs from Temu. Now, it wasn't massively cheaper than I could have got it on Amazon. It was like $5 less. But I was in no rush for it. I just want a spare filter for it. But I reckon it's not a patent part, because I reckon it's actually from the manufacturer, because it from what the listing says, it is specifically for this shop vac and it looks identical. So I reckon it's not a patent part. I reckon it's from the manufacturer. But obviously I'm getting it $5 less, even though it's coming all the way from China direct to me.
They can ship stuff from China cheaper than I can ship stuff from Charlotte to Columbia, which is an hour away from me.
They can certainly ship it cheaper than I can ship from the UK to the USA.
Joanna says that they built a Dollar General in her town and it knocked out the grocery store.
We're getting a Dollar General marketplace. On top of we have a Dollar General store, but then they went and built a great big we're in a small town, and now we got a Dollar General marketplace. I guess they're going to have groceries.
Yeah, that's what I've read. They're going to have they're going to start having like a full line of groceries in the store. I
Wow.
personally don't like Dollar General because I feel like something's going to fall on me all the time. You walk in there, the aisles are 2 feet apart,
Yeah.
and everything is stacked everywhere.
And this Dollar General Marketplace has a small grocery store attached to a regular Dollar General. It's a it's about twice the size, but it's enough grocery store to be irritating. So
Yeah, they just finished building it. I don't know if they've had their grand opening or what they're going to do, but yeah.
I can't believe some of the prices of stuff on that Temu. It just that blows my mind how cheap some of them are. And you think, how are they doing it that price with free shipping? I mean, I know obviously they want you to buy a load of stuff, but it's so cheap that you can actually buy a load of stuff.
I've got 90% off on like. Thanks for shopping with us again. You qualify for 90% off and free shipping.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe if the postal service, if that's how, because most of this stuff comes through the postal service. If that's how they're doing it, maybe they need to renegotiate or not negotiate. They need to change the shipping, the prices, and give American shippers a little bit better break.
No, I'll show you one of the things I got from Temu several weeks ago, and I was just blown away with for the quality of it for the price I paid. Right, it's a pair of I don't know whether you call them sneakers. I just bought them. I know Tom likes to wear Crocs, but I like something a bit more substantial for going in the garden, in the workshop. So I bought these, right, and they were £12.60, which is about $15 shipped. And you know, I couldn't buy it probably even a pair of Crocs or the fake Crocs here for that price. And they've got a really nice hard spongy insole. They seem that they haven't got any wonky stitching or sole detaching or anything. And I was just like, I couldn't believe how good they were for $15. So I bought myself another pair.
And you don't have to lace them. Look at that. You just
No,
slip them on.
exactly.
My sister-in-law has a $5,000 Louis Vuitton purse that her husband bought for them at the manufacturing facility in China for $35.
That's a good point that Josh just said. They were operating at a loss for 10 years to get rid of Amazon. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, he buys it all on Temu.
Yeah, Cyber, have you ever seen any of Zahir Malik's videos?
No.
He's a reseller in the UK.
Oh, right.
And he has a brick and mortar shop as well. But Zahir, yeah, he can put up a stink. Yeah, I'm too cheap for $15 shoes. Shoot, I get my shoes at the rummage sale for $2 a pair.
Josh, just stay on your good side. Yeah, I must say, the older I've got, the less tolerant I am of dealing with crap.
Really?
I just got I just got a compensation payout from a government organisation that I filed multiple complaints with, and they didn't respond to any of them. So I took them to a tribunal.
If you want to see old people with no patience, get stuck on a cruise ship and you're 3 hours late getting to port. Well, actually longer than that. They just they are just so, pardon my French, fucking pissed off about everything. And Todd and I are one of those old people. But you know what? I'm thinking, what the hell? I was able to get out of bed this morning. I'm stuck on a cruise ship. If I'm hungry, I can go eat for free. You know, yeah, it's kind of a hassle, but I'm just really
Tom,
ticked off. I mean, they
Tom,
were just really ticked off and grumpy about everything.
prepare yourself, Tom. I'm really not at a Christmas place.
I know you're not.
So I'm listening to this stupid little bunny rabbit. I got it in a lot. It was free. It's like a $10. I mean, it's nothing, but since it's free, I'm just gonna list it. And it wants to know what vehicle that damn stuffed rabbit goes to. eBay. No, there's nothing wrong with your search eBay. Select a vehicle for a stuffed bunny rabbit.
Uh-huh.
That's just irritating.
Search is messed up.
eBay must really be trying to get heavy into the automotive market, because that's the only thing I see ads for now is eBay Motors. Anytime picker, why are you using my name in vain? I can't read that far. If you did what? Not show for cruise ship, you could have sold a lot of stuff. Mr. Sadie, the casino closed at like 2 a.m. because we were supposed to be getting off the ship at 7:30 a.m. They opened it back up, and a guy hit a slot machine for $4,000.
Sadie took his local casino for like $2,000 this weekend.
Blimey.
And I'm sure y'all, especially y'all that dabble in gambling, you can get cruises for free if you gamble in the casino a lot. You have to gamble a lot in a casino to get that free stuff. Now, we did not spend $1,500 because, on slot machines, you win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. At $1,500 worth of spins, we got free drinks. Roberta and I don't drink, or I'll have maybe one or two drinks. I had like 3 drinks out of 8 days. And these people, they're probably Mr. Sadie's and Todd's kind of gambling, because they're getting like 8-day cruises for free. You got to spend a lot of damn money with somebody to start getting that kind of stuff.
So
You'll be very lucky, Tom.
At what point does it become free and you're just paying for it through the casino? I mean,
yeah,
the house wins. The house will win. You gamble enough, that's what they're counting on. They didn't build Vegas because they lost their ass.
Well, that's just it. We went. We like I said, we did pretty well this time. We actually came home with money, but we were not going to lose the house. Our children are adults. Our cats were not going to go hungry. Everything. The power bill was going to stay on. So you got to do this as a game, as having fun. Because if you don't enjoy it, first of all, there was a man that sat at a damn slot machine for 12 hours, except for to get up and go to the bathroom. It's fun, but damn, it's not that fun. I'm really. Now, Mr. Sadie, the Texas Hold'em table stayed full all the time.
Harry's suffering from fat finger syndrome. Well, I've nearly done that a few times myself, Harry. It's when you go to approve it, it suddenly comes up next to it to remove the comment, and before you know it, you've tapped the thing and done it wrong.
What?
If you see him, buy him. the
camera,
the one with the little PlayStation thing on it.
What'd you
I
get
bought
for
it at
him?
auction. $16 at auction.
I was looking around in the gift shop to see if there was anything like, bobblehead, anything, that kind of stuff. that was like exclusive to Carnival or anything like that, because that usually sells better if it's got a exclusive on it.
That guy's got multiple, but that's what it's. He sells for 67.
So, Tom, you've used Temu, have you, Tom?
Yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff from them.
Right. So the only complaints that I've heard from a lot of people, including my wife, is that they constantly bombard you with offers and emails and crap like that. Is that right?
Yeah, they do.
Harry.
They do. We get a lot of offers. I mean, I think sometimes they give me money back, but I make a list of stuff that I want.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Because I bought a bunch of video splitters. They were like $19 here. I bought like 6 of them for $3 a piece.
And then sold them on eBay?
No, I've got them in a drawer over here in case I need them. But because they're only selling for like $5.50 on eBay. Right. And I just plus shipping. So I just ordered some of them. But when I have a list over here of stuff that I think check Temu for. So the next time I get, what is it? Is it Lag that does the 1,000% on his promoted listings? So the next time Temu does one of those kind of promotions, then I'll order it all, because usually it costs me nothing. But I'm taking jobs from taking jobs away from people.
Yeah, that is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it frustrates me that you like we said earlier, that you can't find stuff made that says made in the USA or made in the UK. I would much rather support, another country other than China. But whether you buy something, like them shoes, whether you buy them on eBay or whether you buy them on Amazon, they're still coming from bloody China, aren't they?
Yeah, most of the stuff is. You probably could buy, if you could buy enough of those things to get a really good price on them and send them all into Amazon, because these geek guys and gals, they have constantly buying stuff from Amazon. So, you might can make some money off of it, but I'm just not into that.
Yeah. But just think you're supporting somebody's 4-year-old child on their labor as they make those shoes for you.
Yeah. That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, but Kent, I don't whine about Temu, because the U.S. does not make this stuff, because there's not enough money in this stuff. And
the problem is they're subsidized by the U.S. government, and they're a Chinese-owned company, because the Postal Service and all the damn agreements they have to ship that shit so cheap over here. Why are we supporting a Chinese government company to come after an Amazon? I mean, you can love or hate Amazon, but at least for the most part, they're still an American company. That's the problem I have with them is our government is constantly doing everything in their power to screw the U.S. population. Do we need to talk about Ukraine? Hello.
Joanna said that she bought some fingernail polish from Temu. She never thought about lead. I would never buy anything that is fabric or like nail polish, cosmetics, and stuff like that from a company that is not outside the United States. Because if you look at, if you go to the national recall list, there is children's sleepwear, one after another on there, that is recalled because they're not flame retardant, and they're all being sold on eBay. I mean, not eBay, Amazon.
I mean, so let's get this straight. The American government is pouring billions of your dollars into Ukraine. They are subsidizing Chinese companies that are coming after American companies, and they tell you to take your death shot and shut up.
Yeah,
that's where we are right now, folks. We are at a point where the governments and throw the UK's government in there too, because they're just as screwed up as the US government.
Yeah.
We are at a point where we are supposedly civilized countries, and we are allowing these this small group of people to control vast populations. Um, that time is quickly coming to an end. I'm
Well,
telling you.
the new shot
2024.
has a holiday formula, according to the commercials lately. So I guess it makes you have the holiday spirit or something like that.
It's hard to watch an NFL game
Unbelievable.
when you're seeing advertisements for all that stuff, and you're like, I mean, you're trying to get your consumers who are watching your product, the NFL, to take shots that are going to kill them and take away your own audience. What the hell?
I mean, we have the same issue as you. Them coming in from the south. We have them coming across the English Channel.
Yeah, you're going to be a Muslim country if you don't watch out. You're very close. London's very close to be a Muslim city. They're Muslim rule. If America doesn't wake up to that nonsense.
Well, I'm gonna buy some land in Texas, so when Texas succeeds for the Union, I'll have a house down there.
Same here. On my GPS, you hit emergency, we're going to Texas.
Yeah. Ken, I don't buy a lot of stuff from Temu.
Everything I've bought from there has been absolute junk.
Yeah, I mean, most of it is, it's not even dollar store stuff. It's quarter store stuff. But some of it surprisingly does well.
Yeah, I ordered some sanding sheets for the workshop, and I was expecting them to be like the dollar store versions,
Right.
but actually they weren't. They were just as good quality as the top brand ones, which is a good job because I ordered like 50 of them.
Good.
I mean, when one of the governments, I forget where it was, where the guy said a couple of weeks ago, he said he had 2 messages for the U.S. and they like, what are the messages? Message number 1 is if you don't do something about the Muslims now, you're going to become Europe, and you're going to become overrun with the way we are. And the second message was, you better reelect Donald Trump because he's the only one that's going to be able to deal with it. And then one of them, I saw it yesterday, this weekend, was celebrating the fact that they took control back over their parts of their country from the Muslims. Folks,
See, here's what gets me, Scott, is the UK got the shit bombed out of them during World War II, and kept the invaders away, and how now they're just letting them walk across the damn or sail across the English Channel, and take over, and that's sad because
it's not even those who are coming over. The ones that are coming over from the Middle East, I think.
Yeah, I was watching a thing that said that like 40% of London is owned by outside investors, or out of the country investors from the Middle East.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if it was higher than that. But a few years ago, we were on vacation in the north of England for our anniversary, and we met up with another YouTuber that I chat with in a place called Bolton in the north of England. And I was, well, not just me, my wife as well. We were just like blown away how different this part of the country was. We stopped and had a cup of tea with this guy, and then we thought we'd have a walk around the town. Well, my wife just said, I don't feel comfortable. I really don't feel comfortable. We parked outside this school, and they were all coming out with their veils over their heads and all this. There was not an English-looking child coming out. And, walking the streets, my wife said, I really don't feel comfortable. I think we should just go. And it felt like we were in another country. It really did. It was quite mind-blowing.
You were in Dearborn, Michigan.
Oops.
Problem is, people it's they don't come to assimilate. They come to just take over and destroy, and that's the problem. It's general for the vast part, generally nice people, but they bring a radicalness that. I mean, look at the squad, Omar and all those knuckleheads. Where else in the world can you commit a felony by marrying your brother to get around the entry to the country and their laws, only to be elected by a government cabal to take out the government? Welcome to the United States of America.
Well, when the U.S. goes, when it collapses, the whole world will collapse.
People don't realize that. People don't realize the Second Amendment protects the world. They don't realize the Second Amendment of the United States of America protects the entire world.
CCT lives in the country that once was the most powerful country in the world.
You got it, Tom. Once was, yeah.
And it is the size of probably Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, put together. And it was the most powerful country in the world.
And their whole downfall started over taxing tea. What the hell?
Yeah, I
know. Yeah.
Damn tea drinkers.
I saw somewhere that 86 countries celebrate independence from Great Britain.
That's good.
Independence Day from Great Britain.
You know the scary part?
Different countries.
Watch some of these YouTubers that they go around asking on Independence Day, who did the U.S. gain their independence from?
Yeah, they don't know, do they? Even I know that.
They don't have a clue. You walk around.
I'll tell you what, I reckon I know more about your constitution than a lot of bloody Americans.
I wouldn't bet against
it. There's a joke about there's people down in Georgia still fighting the Civil War. A buddy of mine, his grandfather, he said when his grandfather was still alive, he was still bitching about the United States becoming independent from Great Britain, and he wasn't even alive when that
happened.
When it happened, and it was like that whole British mentality, and the Southern, because I do know people down in. Hell, I know people even in North Carolina, South Carolina, that are still fighting the Civil War. But you're right. People don't. They don't. I was watching this thing on entertainment while we were on the cruise, and they were talking about people know because of British television. I mean, because of TV shows made about the British monarchy. Queen Victoria on down. Harbor's Hope threw my train of thought off. First of all, this is not fucking Rome. This is where we have instantaneous communication and banking transfers, and the U.S. buys more shit from everybody else than the whole fucking world put together. When our economy crashed into 2000, it just about destroyed the whole country. The UK, China, Russia, everybody. It all comes down to money.
If we go down, everything collapses. Yeah, Ron, you're absolutely wrong on that. There's never been an economic system built like it is now, on a consumer economy that we buy so much and we use so much that the rest of the world goes with it. I'm telling
you. I am totally, anyway.
Here we go. This is what's happening to the USA, right? I've got this. American brand, a buck knife. Yeah?
Yeah.
Used to be.
That's made in China. Uh-oh.
He's got it. He's got it.
I got
Made in
Yeah,
China.
engraved with buck, but on the wherever it is, it does say somewhere. I
Yeah.
can't find it now. It says made in China.
shout out to the big girls. Appreciate
Made in
that.
China. Unbelievable. I bought it because I thought it'd be an American, nice American knife made in China. Unbloody believable.
You have to buy one, but you have to buy one from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Roberta's, they had Carnival branded panties on the ship, and Roberta said, "Why don't you see if you can find some 3X's and send them to Scott and tell him you don't think he had enough." Oh Lord, it's 10:30. I got to get out of here. I got to get some stuff done. I actually have some stuff. I thought I turned my store off while I was gone, but apparently I set it to vacation mode, and so I came back to stuff being sold, and I got to ship a couple $100 worth of stuff this morning.
It's good to have you back on dry land, but I lost my bet that you would come back with COVID.
No, right now I feel fine. We both do. We're just tired from.
So most buck knives are still made in the U.S., but any of the ones made for the cheaper markets like Walmart and those kind of retailers are Chinese made. So evidently, you bought one that's made for Walmart and those kind of brands.
Yeah. Well, I think it came from Amazon actually, but yeah, I can't find the bloody. I remember seeing it on there somewhere. It's very tiny writing, made in China. I can't bloody find it now.
When we were
Hidden it.
it would be 3 weeks ago now. The same cruise that we were on, because of the weather, they didn't get into port till 3:00 in the afternoon, and they did not get. The ship did not leave till 11:00 at night. Now, people that have cruised knows that they're wanting you to get off that ship as quick as possible. And just the logistics of getting, people that have arrived to get on the ship and they can't arrive. They said the temperatures were short. People were going to jail. So, and right now the weather is terrible down there. So if anybody's like my brother's leaving Thursday to go on a cruise for Christmas, and I've already told them it's going to be a rough thing because they're having like 20-foot waves. Even though this one lady posted in this group, that cruise group that we belong to, she said she thinks all these men are talking about these 16 to 20-foot waves. And she says, to me, they look like 6-foot waves. You know what she's talking about? All the guys say they are bigger than they actually are. Kadumba. So
I do actually have a knife made in the USA, thankfully, and it is extremely good quality.
Do they?
You know what that does over here? That over here gets you killed.
Did you? Do they still make Rolls Royces in the UK?
I got a knife. It'll cut right through you.
It's what?
It'll cut right through you. I got a knife. It'll cut right through you.
Yeah.
A nice circular hole, big on the back. It's awesome.
Oh, there were big signs that says weapons not allowed aboard.
Nothing like going on high seas and surrendering your rights.
Thanks, honey.
All right, I gotta go.
Yeah, I'll head out.
Thanks for coming. CCT, appreciate you coming all the way here from the UK to be on our show today.
Pleasure. I've dropped in before, but yeah, it's been a bit busy. And as
I was hoping he was going to open that box, show us what was in it.
Well, I could do. You want to see, Tom?
I just figured it was just full of gold bars in there, because you're like Todd. Yeah, y'all hoard those gold bars.
You want to know what's in the box?
I was just
Ah,
yeah. Now I thought you were just going to use it as a backdrop.
I've already had 3 sales on this show. Can we keep going?
shoot, I need a sale. I had a bad weekend. I got 7 packages going out.
And John and Jenna and John are the ones that say if you hit the like button. I hadn't hit nothing, and I've got 3 sales. I don't want to jinx it, so you don't get a like today.
Maybe I need to like my own video. Let's see if that works.
I don't know. See if you list, they'll start selling. I'm sitting here listening while y'all are talking. That's why I'm selling stuff.
Okay. All right. Y'all have a great day.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I got 35 people watching and only 2 thumbs up. Yay.
Well,
Are you serious? Damn it, I'll go give you one just for that.
let
For
me
all
go.
those haters out there.
Let me
All
go
those
to.
haters. Social media.
Oh, Lag's gonna go shopping in my store. Yay. I'll get a
Well, if he's going to pay for it this time.
99-cent offer.
Silverhairstacker.
Where did?
You got 21 likes. What are you talking about? 22.
What?
I'm only showing 4 here, but I think mine always lags because obviously I'm further away. I think.
Maybe I need to refresh. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got 25 now. What the hell?
Well, he got
Everybody-
26 now at least.
We're celebrating the Tom's back.
Yeah. Welcome back, Tom. You doing a show tomorrow, Tom?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. We'll be on the Queen City Picker channel tomorrow. His guest star is gonna be Farrah Fawcett.
Oh,
Oh, I had to
He
get my
wishes.
Ouija board, my channel, my
yeah.
out for that
She
one.
died, didn't she?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did. All right.
He's
Bye.
gonna have Queen Elizabeth on then.
I'll have to do the same thing on that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she passed away last year.
Here's a huge.
There she is.
Who sold this thing?
Well, I wish I could get Dolly Parton on my show.
This, all these people who can't sell anything. I can tell you what the problem is. There you go, right there. There's a Keurig. Somebody sold it for $19.99 plus 15 benefits charity. That's Goodwill of whatever. Goodwill puts this shit up because they get it for free, and they are always the lowest price on everything. It is ridiculous. They're selling it for the same. They sold it for the same price you can sell it for parts. When there it is, it's a $70 Keurig. It's a $70 Keurig. It's a $70 Keurig. But but people want to blame eBay how they can't sell anything when these Goodwills and stuff. They want to bitch about Goodwill raising the price. Goodwill raising the price ain't the problem. Goodwill is your competition now, and they are lowballing everything because we know that auctions bring you the least money. How many of you actively watch auctions on, except for Lag, because Lag don't tell me his sources on eBay. Actively watch auctions on eBay. Nobody's got time for that. And so
No, I agree.
Unless you're using a sniping program, which is a good idea if you want to pick up some inventory, start watching them. But that Keurig, Tom does not have it. Tom is too tired this morning for a sense of humor. But that is more the problem to your and you know how you clean this? You know how you clean that coffee maker? You set it in the kitchen beside the sink, and the wife eventually will play with it and clean it. That's awesome.
Anyway, I'm going to head out, guys.
Thank you so much, CCT. We'll see you.
Late afternoon for
Actually,
me. Have a great day.
I was supposed to have CCT on Friday's show. But
Yeah, he stood me up. He stood me up.
Dumped all over him. I went to the garage sale at the auction instead.
That was a good decision, man. You did really well.
Bye, everybody.
All right, bye. Yeah, I totally forgot to tell CCT that I wasn't going to do a show. I mentioned it on Thursday's show with Tom, but I didn't send the message to him.
Don't worry, I didn't show for you.
All right. All right, folks. Thanks a lot. Bye. Roll Tide. Roll
Roll Tide.
Cowboys. Yay.